I told my husband my DMS were full of men who would treat me better. Pretty bold statement, right? Well, now he's gone, and I'm alone. I guess I should start from the beginning because, trust me, this whole thing is just, yeah. I'm Lexi, 35, and this is how I managed to blow up my entire marriage because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I met Julian 6 years ago at Maggiano's. I was waiting tables and he was the head chef. Not going to lie, I totally had a thing for the way he'd get all serious during dinner rush, barking orders like his life depended on perfectly seared scallops. There was something magnetic about him, confident, focused, intense. We started flirting between shifts, stealing glances over the hotline, and before I knew it, we were dating. Fast forward 2 years and we were married. It felt like the real deal, fiery, passionate, like something out of a movie. But here's the thing they don't tell you about passion. It burns out if you don't feed it. Before I get deeper into this mess, if you enjoy stories about real-life regrets, raw emotions, and lessons learned the hard way, make sure to subscribe. Because sometimes the smallest words have the power to destroy everything you thought was unbreakable. Now back to my disaster. At first, our marriage was great. Date nights, spontaneous road trips, all that honeymoon phase magic. But life happens. Work, stress piled up, bills, responsibilities. Julian's 12-hour shifts started to wear him down, and I felt like an afterthought in his life. We stopped connecting. Conversations turned into grunts and nods. The passion, gone, replaced by routine and silence. And that's when the DMS started. Nothing scandalous at first, just old friends, acquaintances from high school, even random guys dropping compliments. You're gorgeous. Wish I had someone like you. It was flattering, addictive even, especially when you're feeling invisible in your own marriage. I never crossed any major lines. No meetups, no dirty photos, just innocent flirting. Or at least, that's what I told myself. Julian wasn't clueless. He noticed the way I smiled at my phone, the late-night notifications, the sudden urge to always keep my screen face down. We started fighting more, about stupid things like laundry or who forgot to buy milk. But underneath it all was this growing tension, an unspoken resentment neither of us wanted to admit. And then came the fight, the one that broke us. It was a Saturday. We were supposed to go to a friend's barbecue, but Julian was running late. Again. I was dressed, makeup flawless, scrolling through my phone, stewing in frustration. When he finally walked in, sweaty and tired from work, he barely acknowledged me, just mumbled something about needing a quick shower. I snapped one, "You know what, Julian? My DMs are full of men who treat me better than this." The words shot out before I could catch them. I didn't mean it, not really. It was just heat of the moment anger. But the second they left my mouth, I saw something shift in his eyes. Not anger, not hurt, just emptiness. He didn't yell, he didn't throw things. He just looked at me for a long, heavy moment, then quietly said, "Then maybe you should go find one of them." And just like that, he walked out. I thought he'd cool off and come back. We always fought like that, loud, messy, dramatic. But this time was different. Days passed, no calls, no texts. I reached out, but he didn't respond. I even drove to his friend's place where I thought he might be crashing. Nothing. It was like he'd disappeared. Weeks went by. The silence became deafening. The apartment felt too big, too empty. His toothbrush still sat by the sink, his favourite mug on the shelf. But he was gone. And the reality started to sink in. I'd pushed him too far. The DMS? Oh, they were still there. The compliments. The attention. But suddenly they felt meaningless. Because none of them were Julian. None of them knew the way he liked his coffee. Black with just a dash of sugar. None of them knew how he hummed when he cooked, or how his eyes crinkled when he laughed at his own bad jokes. I started replaying that moment over and over in my head. Why did I say it? Why was I so quick to throw my marriage under the bus for a fleeting sense of power? I kept telling myself it was just words, but words have weight. And I had thrown a grenade without caring who it hit. One day, I finally saw him. I was grocery shopping, hair in a messy bun, wearing the same hoodie I'd cried in the night before. And there he was, Julian, in the frozen food aisle, laughing at something some woman said. She was pretty, effortlessly so. No makeup, just a natural glow. They weren't holding hands or anything, but it didn't matter. The ease between them said enough. He saw me. Our eyes met. No anger, no bitterness, just polite indifference. He gave me a small nod, the kind you give strangers when you accidentally make eye contact. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't his person anymore. I went home and cried harder than I ever had before. Not because he'd moved on, but because I'd let him. Now, sitting in the silence of our old apartment, I think about all the things I wish I'd said instead. I miss us. I feel invisible. I'm scared we're losing each other. But I didn't say those things. I chose arrogance over vulnerability. And I lost. People always talk about the big betrayals, cheating, lies, secrets. But sometimes the words we throw like knives cut the deepest. So here I am, alone. No, Julian. Just me and my regret. Funny how the DMs don't matter when the one person you want to text never will again. If you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe for more stories about love, loss, and the mistakes we can't take back. Because sometimes the words you say in anger are the ones you'll regret forever.